What's the best selling car at the moment? Well, that goes to the Vauxhall Corsa. Last year it was given a facelift to bring it in line with the rest of the Vauxhall range. Let's have a look to see if it is still any good and if you should buy one. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. So, let's start with the styling of the new Vauxhall Corsa facelift. And to me, it looks like it is in three minds. We get the cutout for the old headlights, but we also get the new Vauxhall visor. And we get the new Vauxhall design language that we will see on newer Vauxhalls to come, specifically the new Crossland replacement and the Grandland replacement. We get the new set of headlights with the new Vauxhall LED daytime running light graphic in them, and they now have pixel light technology. Lower down we get a new style central air vent that is like the old one, but it is now gloss black, and we also get some thin gloss black side vents. To me, the overall design is not the best that I have seen, which is a shame as the new design gives the Corsa a bottom lip, which you can see in person. Moving round to the side of the Corsa, and there are no changes apart from this colour option called Graphic Grey and some new 17-inch black aerodynamic alloy wheels like what we had seen on the 40th anniversary edition. Moving round to the back, and again the changes are very minimal. Nothing has changed apart from the new logo and new lettering that is now central. Let's have a look at the battery motor options that you can have with the new Vauxhall Corsa facelift, as well as the new engine options too. So, you can either have the new Vauxhall Corsa in electric, petrol or petrol hybrid. The petrol hybrid will come out later in a separate video, so we will leave that for now. Let's start with the electric models then. So, there are two options that you can choose from. You can either have the standard range, which has a 50 kWh battery pack and a 134 brake horsepower motor. This has 222 miles of range, and it has front wheel drive and a 0 to 62 time of 8.9 seconds. Next up is the long range version, which has a bigger 51 kWh battery pack and a 154 brake horsepower motor with a range of 246 miles and a 0 to 62 time of 8.2 seconds. For the petrol versions, there are three options. There's the regular 1.2 litre engine with 73 brake horsepower. This is front wheel drive and can only be had in a 5-speed manual. This can do a 0 to 62 time of a slow 12.9 seconds. Next up will be the most popular engine, and this is a 1.2 litre turbo with 100 brake horsepower. This can be had with a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic, and it can do 0 to 62 in 9.9 seconds, which is better. Finally, the last engine is a 1.2 litre turbo with 128 brake horsepower. This has a 0 to 62 time of 8.7 seconds, which isn't bad for this engine, and it can only be had in an 8-speed automatic gearbox. The price of the new Vauxhall Corsa facelift starts at £19,275, and the price for the Vauxhall Corsa electric facelift starts at £32,445. But this can go all the way to £38,000, which is way too expensive for a Corsa. Let's have a look at the interior. Moving inside to the new Vauxhall Corsa facelift, and there are some changes, but there are also some I don't agree with. To start with, we get a new airbag cover that feels a bit out of place on this steering wheel. We also get two new infotainment system options. Now, I say two because there are actually two options. If you go for a car with satellite navigation, then you will get the all-new operating system that is taken from the Astra. This system is very good, and it is much easier to use over the old model, and it is widescreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you don't go for a car with satellite navigation, however, you actually still get the old infotainment option, but in this model it has been given a slight facelift so it looks like new software. It has buttons either side just like the old 7-inch system, but you cannot have a widescreen display, which is a shame. It just feels odd to me that they can't put the new infotainment system in without navigation. To go with the new infotainment system, we get an updated instrument cluster with a new design. It is still 7 inches, and I would like to have seen a bigger option, but this does what you want it to do. We also get some new seat options, as well as some new dashboard colours and a new gear selector on the internal combustion engine manual models. But to me, this feels a bit odd in the hand. Let's have a look at the rear seats. So, practicality is not a strong point for the Corsa. The door opening is not big at all, and the doors don't open very wide, making it difficult to get into the back. Once you are in though, you do notice that legroom is very tight if you are behind a 6-footer, but headroom isn't that bad. Fitting 3 people in the back would be a tight squeeze, and personally this car is better as a 4-seater. And if you are going to fit 3 people in the back regularly, then I would recommend the bigger Astra. Let's have a look at the boot. So, opening the boot to the Vauxhall Corsa Electric, and you are welcomed with 267 litres of boot space with the seats up. If you go for the internal combustion engine Corsa note, this does increase to 309 litres. This isn't a practical car, but then it was never designed to be a practical car. So, the Vauxhall Corsa. Whether you want an electric version or an internal combustion engine model, you can find a better option overall. For the internal combustion engine model, there are better rivals to choose from that are better value for money, like the Volkswagen Polo, Skoda Fabia, Hyundai i20 or the Renault Clio. As for the electric version, then you can easily afford a bigger car than the Corsa. If you want to go for a decent model, which is the top of the range ultimate model, then be prepared to fork out £38,000. This is as much as a new Tesla Model 3. You can also get an MG4 X-Power for that price too, and that can do 0 to 62 in about 3 seconds. This just shows how expensive the new Corsa Electric really is. Yes, you can go for a more basic model with a £32,000 price tag, but it has less power and less range as well as less options, and to be honest it is not worth going for it unless you really want a Vauxhall Corsa Electric. If you already have a pre-facelift Corsa and you are looking to update it soon, then to be honest there is no point going for this model as there isn't enough changes to warrant for it to be a good model. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.